Ah, the future. Year 2281. War. Fallout. Fallout. Fallout like friends. Friends is friendship. Ship. Ship is navigating. Navigation is electronics. Electronics is computer. And computer? The AI. AI is everywhere. The internet. Mobile communications device. Your Nana smart fridge. And even your girlfriend's self-pleasuring apparatus. I had to look up the last one. And it's an actual thing. Holy smokes. Anyways, the AI. They tell you it can make your fitness routine, help you decide what to eat, and fix your love life. Or you can just use it like I do and ask stupid questions. So, I asked ChatGPT to give me a Fallout New Vegas playthrough route, and I can say that ChatGPT is based. Just look at the sheet. And today we're going to put this route to the test, and let's see how it goes. Woke up, named myself courier.exe because ChatGPT told me so, and wiggled my way to the Vigor tester machine. And since the Savior AI was kind enough to give me a build, I was brainy enough to follow it. So priorities goes to Intelligence 9 for data acquisition is top priority, Charisma 6 or above, because humans like when you smile. And since it didn't ask me to do anything else, I just switched a few points to have more endurance. For tech skills, I was instructed to choose speech, science, and repair. Traits: good nature and skilled. We have to keep in mind that it told us to get some perks as well, like educated, comprehension, ferocious loyalty, robotics expert, and nerd rage. ChatGPT named the route as optimize the human experience. So, taking the first steps out of Doc Mitchell's house, I wheeled my way straight to Chet's general store to sell some useless stuff I looted. After that, I headed to the saloon to speak with Sunny Smiles, and after shooting the 3 bottles, I ended the tutorial because this kind of self-hatred is not my cup of tea. Once I went back to the saloon, I saw Joe Cobb blabbering some boring stuff to Trudy, and me being a good robot, I just popped a cap in his meaty skull. Then Trudy told me that either I have some big cojones or I'm really stupid for doing that. Heading out to meet Ringo, I encountered this. Hopefully it's not the hardness that I think it is. You can decide on that fact. Entering the gas station, I was supposed to get aimed at as soon as I step into the building. But for some reason, our boy decided that he needed to stretch his legs before confronting me. So I told him I killed Cobb, but of course he said he would have handled it Joe himself. So I had to run around the town gathering people because I killed a Cobb and the attack was imminent. One shootout later and we are on our merry way out in the direction of Primm, stopping by Barton Thorne to see if our gun is not jammed. It wasn't. Wasting more bullets on some powder gangers standing by, I headed for the bridge that leads to Primm. Definitely not stepping on a mine, we enter Primm with our new list of things to do, which is to clear the building and save Deputy Beagle just to make Primm Slim, our cousin, the new sheriff of the town. Yeehaw! And then spend way too much time trying to fix Eddie, because me being clever, I had to get some more experience, so I just made my way out of Primm for a bit. I cleared the patrol station, and as I left, somehow I got ambushed by more Jackal members. Still missing a few experience points, I headed to the racetrack and helped Bark Scorpion by removing his vocal cords. So he's no longer Barking Scorpion, just Scorpion. After shooting way too many bullets at some ants, I reached level 4 spending my points to get to repair 60 and science to 55. I needed repair of 65 to fix Eddie without any resources, so I had to steal a repair magazine from Johnson's Nash bedside table. Having our boy fixed and running, we left Primm and got ambushed by powder gangers. They had 22 silenced pistols, so they weren't a big deal for the AI duo. Scooting over to Nipton, we decided to end the lineage to Bighorners for some juicy experience. And as soon as Nipton appeared on my horizon, I opened fire to Oliver Swanwick. But somehow he managed to run away and get himself stuck in a building. No idea how that happened. I entered Nipton's trading post to get myself a quest, as instructed by almighty ChatGPT, and headed off to the direction of Legion Raid Camp. First time around, I killed the camp members with the help of Eddie and some random NCR soldier, but somehow a Night Stalker got a good bite of a tied up powder ganger and I failed the quest immediately, even though it wasn't my fault. Second time around, I just watched traders fight Legion and witnessed the same stray NCR soldier opening fire at the camp, so I snuck in, killed a sleeping Legion recruit. For some reason I didn't get aggroed by any other Legion warriors, and just casually untied the powder gangers in front of everyone, completing the quest. One quick jog later, and we arrived to Novac. Without talking to anyone, I headed straight to the top of the dino to speak with Manny Vargas, to get the Come Fly With Me quest, to deal with the ghouls occupying the rocket facility. So I bashed some ghoul skulls on my way there and met Chris, the wannabe ghoul. He told me to speak with Jason, the Monster Energy guy. I think he might have been a skater before the war. Just thinking. He asked me to clear out the basement from Z-Demons. And so I did. Since it wasn't enough, of course, he asked me to help him with the preparations for his great journey to the beyond. Or something. I don't know. So Chris told me where I can find the needed supplies for the rockets, and I headed straight to Old Ladies Gibson scrapyard and got myself a deal on some rocket parts. And she told me where I might find isotope required for the rockets. Since I knew I was going to deal with radioactive stuff, I pimped myself out in my new space outfit and headed straight to the supposed location, and there I got attacked by golden geckos and one of them slapped me so hard that my game crashed. After plugging myself back into the game again, equipped with new intelligence, I fast traveled back to Novac, entered Dino Shop, kicked the door open, and picked 5 rockets and headed straight to Repcon basement to deliver the goods. One quick conversation later, and I convinced Chris to live in Novac, and he told me to set the rockets out for Jason. And so I did. And after hearing how heartbroken Chris was, I had to play with the panel for a bit, making rockets crash instantly after departure. Fucking ghouls. After delivering Manny the news about my cleansing of Repcon building, and I was on my way to speak with Boone about his lost wife. Quick training session later, I got myself 25 lockpicking, and I picked the safe lock right in front of the old hag, and since I had my evidence, I told her to come in front of the dinosaur.
Watch out for strangers!
After fixing small town issues, I was on my way to Boulder City. Since I had the silver tongue, I made sure the conflict ended on good terms, releasing NCR hostages and giving the chance for cons to escape. Road to Freeside, nothing too interesting happened. So before getting into the strip, I made a stop by the King, the Elvis Presley impersonator, and he asked me to hire a guide to see why he's been making so much money lately. And so I did. While this beanbag was leading me through the dangerous Freeside, like I wasn't walking down the main road 5 minutes ago, without any issues mind you, he didn't expect my robo-brain to see that he was faking his work. I had to stop by to check upon the bodies to find out that they're alive. I confronted him about it, but lacked some skills to get him right there and then. So I had to just move on and feed the information to the King. Being good boy that I am, I got another problem to solve, and he told me that some people were getting beat up around rougher parts of Freeside. So I did some running back and forth to find out that most likely it's the work of NCR. Instead of doing things guns blazing, I ran straight to the king, like the rat I am, to let him know about the situation. When I got there, our conversation abruptly got cut off just to hear that the buffoon pacer took matters into his own greasy hands, and he tried to kill them all before we could do anything. Hearing the news, I wheeled my way to the conflict and defused the situation. As a thank you gift, the king got me a free pass to the strip, saving myself 2,000 caps. Scratching Freeside off the list, I barrel-rolled to the strip, and first place I got to visit was Gamora. I'm here to fix the body for sale situation, which is to help Joanna escape to Freeside. More messenger boy work later, and we got out of the casino into the Freeside, and got ambushed by Gamora's workers. But with my speech expertise, I gaslit those morons and saved the day. And after all of that I already have done to these idiots, they just let me through the front door. And so I went straight to Cachino, took his ledger and told him that I'm going to snitch that rat. After he got popped like a cherry, Big Sal gave me a job to do. Knowing what they're like, I first took the job offer, but after speaking with Clandon, I just took him out and started the cleansing of whole casino. Robocop isn't going to assist with killing a bunch of innocent people. So, after walking out the front door with my newly, legally acquired toy collection, I hopped and skipped straight to the tops. I stopped by Swank to say hi and he arranged a private meeting with Bennington. He gave me the keys to Chessboard's room and after a quick exchange with his truly, I turned him into a bag of bones faster than he could pull out his gun. I went to his bedroom, spoke to Yes Man, continuing my main quest line. After another bloody box ticked on the sheet, I thought why not give a visit to the White Glove Society. All I had to do there was bring back a guy before he became dinner for somebody. And so it began. I started investigating and spoke to Mortimer. He gave me a key to investigator's room, so I headed up there and got instantly ambushed by two Mortimer's boys. With the strength of a wet noodle, I took my sweet time to poke them to death. After that encounter, I chugged 20 liters of water in the bathroom sink like nothing ever happened, and made my way down to the pool area to relax for a bit. Around 4 PM, a guy in a suit shows up and tells me all about the situation of how cannibalistic they are. He gave me some creative ideas on how can I fix this mess. And after our brief talk, I got ambushed again. Another failed assassination attempt later, I casually lockpicked my way into the kitchen and told Chef that there was hentai pictures in the pantry, so he could check it out. Him being not the clever kind of a weeaboo, I locked him in the room so he could think about the life choices he made. After cooking a human-tasting meal with his recipe, I asked the staff to take the meal upstairs and continued my way to find the bloody kid. 10 minutes of blabbering later, I took the boy to his father, finishing the quest. After a good workout, I had a great idea to go back to my K-man and tell him that we can start doing Vegas Takeover. Since I've already done some important stuff, I didn't have to do much. ChatGPT instructed me to help out boomers, to study Brotherhood, and help out the cans. Okay boss, whatever. So, I tightened up my shoelaces and skipped my way to meet the honcho of Vegas, Mr. House. Quick elevator ride up, I didn't even stop to say hi. I just went to the terminal, unlocked the secret door, got down to his chamber, opened his sarcophagus, and we exchanged a few words and I game-ended him. And for some reason, I lost karma. No clue to be fair, but oh well. Can't help out everyone, I guess. After that, I installed buddy old pal Yes Man and he showed me a presentation and I was on my merry way to meet boomers. After warm welcome that left me with a few crippled limbs, I quickly helped them out with their problems and I didn't even have to leave the base to get titleized. Great stuff. That's probably the fastest time I've ever got trying help them out. And one metal bird pop-up later, I was on my way to help out the crybabies. On my way to the Red Rock Canyon, I took an unintentional landmine test to see if my limbs were attached well. And they were, fortunately, and Eddie wanted some action, so we had to take a detour to clean some fiends from the road. Other than that, the rest of the journey was easy. Once I arrived at the cans, I spoke to a few people, had to read up a quest guide how to start a quest, and then I just took Carlos's journal and continued on my merry way to convince Cans to break all ties to the Legion. First I had to convince the cooks, which was very easy, and then I had to take a jog to Quarry Junction. On my way there, I stopped to fix Snuffle's leg, and having made a good deed, I felt better about myself helping Melissa to get their supplies for cooking needs. Casual blackmail later, we got ourselves the supplies and woke from Melissa. By the way, don't mind Carl, he's just sleeping. After hearing his tragic story of the Great Khans, I convinced Papa to leave Nevada altogether. And he agreed for some reason. I don't think I'm going to visit Legion after that. Another crying bunch down, one more to go. Now boys, crack your fingers and let's get into this mess. What we call the Brotherhood of Steel. Arriving to the super secret Hidden Valley, I got greeted by metal boys, and for my surprise gift, I got an exploding collar around my neck. And then they set me off to drive away an NCR soldier. And so I did. I went out and told him that Powder Gangers is camping at one of the bunkers nearby. And then he got the clever idea to bugger off. So I went back and told the elder that it's done. This whole segment makes me feel like I'm Dobby from Harry Potter.
And Dobby has to go to collect that body holotapes, and Dobby tell NCR soldier to go, and Dobby go take items, and Dobby go explore that, and Dobby come back, and then Dobby do more stuff.
And by the way, this come-over guy tried to make me overthrow the Elder. What a scumbag. Okay, so one pair was nearby, they didn't even make a mile from the bunker. The other paladin was near Boomer camp, and good thing I helped out the Boomers so I didn't have to eat rockets on my way there. And the last bunch was at Repcon headquarters, and since I am the AI warrior, I managed to sneak my way through there and get the holotape and didn't get attacked. Most of my way there. So I went back, gave the holotapes, and went out to do more errand boy stuff. And 1, 2, 3, and back to the bunker we go. Next time around, I was needed to gather some tech stuff to fix their air supply and other not so important things. I guess the toilet's not flushing or something. I had to visit a few vaults, and I had to get myself into Vault 22 later on as well, so I thought I should get the quest straight away. So first things first, I headed to Camp McCarran and spoke to the scientist, and headed my way to Vault 22. And because it was the first time I was there, I wandered around aimlessly because I couldn't find where I was supposed to go. Finding the required parts and helping out the ghoul scientist, I let her destroy the files to the biological weapon and made my way back to Camp McCarran to hand in the quest. Continuing my oh so boring Brotherhood questline, I got to Vegas South Ruins, entered guns blazing, blasted all of the fiends, and good thing Eddie was there because I would have been torched. And my mouse started dying at the same time, so quick mouse swap later and I entered Vault 3.
What the fuck are you doing here? You got some kind of fucking death wish, asshole?
With this kind of greeting, I'm pretty sure she's Employee of the Month. I told her that I was there to sell drugs, but when I got to Motor Runner, I just got into the locker, picked the parts, and got the fuck out of there. Vault 11 isn't even worth mentioning. And then finally, made my way back to those paranoid freaks, handing out their items, and getting the fuck out of there for the last time. So, now according to ChatGPT, I needed to learn more about NCR, meaning I made my way to James Shoenice at Camp McCarran. He told me that he suspects there's a rat on the inside and wanted me to find him. Having some expertise in the field myself, I quickly made my way to Boyd and she told me that somebody keeps breaking into control tower at night. Quick 18 hours later, our boy arrives to the control tower to inform the Legion that he's about to blow up the railway. So I skedaddled my way to the train, defused the bomb, and ratted out Curtis to James' shoelace. As the last requirement by oh so mighty ChatGPT, we have to make our way to the Black Mountain. Once I got there, I spoke to Neil, and I agreed to meet him at the top of the mountain to pop a cap to Tabitha. Getting there was quite tricky because at this level, super mutants were equipped quite well and they were bullet sponges. But a few broken limbs and stimpaks later, we got to the top. And for some reason, Neil just refused to budge. No wonder why that happened. So I had to take the matters into my own hands and fix Rhonda. And as soon as I left the storage building, I was greeted by Tabitha and she just walked away. Okay. I checked the route list once again to make sure I didn't miss anything and made my way back to Yes Man. First things first, for some reason I couldn't attend President Campbell's goodbye party. For some reason. Even though I helped NCR a bunch. But oh well. Let's hope we can wish him a goodbye next time around. And then he told me that I need to stop by Eldorado's substation to install the chip. Once I got there, the NCR told me to bugger off, so I just popped a stealth boy, got inside, installed the chip, and left like nothing ever happened. Well boys, home run. So, once I arrived at the Hoover Dam, I noticed that NCR was on my side, fighting the Legion. Can't complain about that for sure. I got inside the dam, needed to install another chip so Yes Man could do his robot thingy, whatever he does, and as soon as I got near the power armor wielding NCR soldiers, I used another stealth boy, snuck into the control room, installed yet another chip so Yes Man can do his robot thingy, and thought, now this time they're really going to attack me. But no. They didn't care. So naturally, I got down to the generator room, destroyed it, and clawed my way to Leggett's camp. Once I arrived there, I took as many Legion soldiers as I could from the distance, and popping myself with everything I had in my inventory, I two-shot Leggett. And for some reason I had to shoot his head off. Anyway, Oliver arrived, I threw him off the dam, finishing the game. So, my thoughts on this. I actually really enjoyed trying out something like this. Not gonna lie, many weird things happened. And I had to do some background checks so I didn't soft lock myself. But honestly, using ChatGPT can lead to many interesting playthroughs. I think it's nice to have somebody else plan something for you, for a change. So yeah, if you enjoyed as much as I did, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time around. Beep 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 boop boop.